Welcome to another episode of the Talk It To Me podcast with your hosts, Tim Klingman and Phillip Smith. Intro and outro music by Empty Beds, emptybeds.bandcamp.com.
All right, welcome to another episode of the Talk It To Me podcast. As you guys probably just saw, we have a intro to the podcast now. Yeah, with Godzilla attacking the camera and music by Empty Beds. That's right. Our friends over at Empty Beds, I went and talked to Michael, and I was looking for some music for the intro, and he provided it. What do you think of our intro, Tim? You just saw it last night or the night before or whatever.
Yeah, no, it was actually pretty interesting. It was not what I expected, to say the least.
Yeah, you know, it was fun. It was fun editing that. I think it's a fun little thing to add on to the videos. I don't know. It makes it look a little bit more professional. I like it. Michael from Empty Beds, I was talking with him. He'd definitely be interested in coming on the podcast sometime, so maybe he can be one of our first guests. That'd be kind of cool.
Yeah, that'd be pretty fun.
Yeah. He's a nice guy. He's out of Reno. So he's local to us.
Wow, okay.
Yeah. Yeah, so let's get on with our episode here. You play any interesting video games recently?
I'm feeling a call to build a house on Sims right now.
You're playing Sims, really?
Well, no, I'm not. My wife was playing Sims, and it makes me now want to play The Sims and build a house.
Oh. Yeah, I love Sims. My favorite Sims game was the Sims 2 for the GameCube, which is like the best version of Sims 2.
Yeah, she was just playing it on the computer. Sims 4, which has a lot of weird stuff to it. Like, you can't get a car, for instance. Like, what? Why not? Give me a car.
Well, what I like is with Sims 2 for the GameCube, instead of clicking to where you want your character to go, you move them around like with a control stick, which I think that'd be such a cool idea to add to the games. You know, like WSAD, yeah, to Sims. That would be huge in my opinion. I thought that was the best version of the game, but
absolutely, yeah, no, that should be a thing in every game ever. Like, I think the point and click thing is really, it's annoying to me.
It's like playing RuneScape.
Yeah, I mean, basically.
Yeah, recently I've been playing Digimon World 3. I've been doing a Let's Play on my channel of that. I'm running an AM and a PM Let's Play now.
Fun.
Yeah,
no, the only thing I've been playing through for the channel is still Pokemon White version 2. Mostly because I haven't figured out. I have to figure out how I can capture DS footage. So that's something I'm working on.
Yeah, I don't know. With my Digimon Let's Play, like, that's a fun game. Like, I'm gonna go off on this for a second because Digimon World 3 is one of the best JRPGs of all time. I'm going to take that stance right now. Okay, I played this game when I was a kid, and it's still a solid game. It's a 40-hour game at least. Like, it's so much fun. You know, it's a little bit like Digimon, I mean a little bit like Pokemon, but it's like kind of like Final Fantasy. It's really cool. Like, in my opinion, the amount of customizing you can do to your teams. And this is a PlayStation 1 game. This is a PS1 game we're talking about here. And I love it, you know. If you ever get a chance, that's a game you should play.
But is it actually like a JRPG?
It's a full-on JRPG. I'm not even lying. Yeah, there's a story involved. You know, it's a complex story. You have these guys called the AOA that are they're mean to the Digimon, okay? They're mean to these guys. And the AOA, like, they're the bad guys, and then you run into them in this Digimon MMO world, which is kind of cool, like, because it's a fictional MMORPG, like, with some, like, Matrix stuff where you, like, go into this pod and then you're in the digital world. Like, it's really cool.
I have a Digimon game sitting on my shelf back here. I'm not sure where I got it or anything, but it's 4DS, and I thought I was debating trying it out.
Is it Digimon World DS?
It very well could be. Has like a red symbol, red logo with blue letters.
Oh, I don't know. I played Digimon World Dusk and Dawn, which are two really good games too, but they're really easy to beat, and they aren't as story driven as Digimon World 3 was. Like that game is a solid all around game. Like I don't know how else to describe it. Like it's the best.
Yeah.
So you watch any movies recently? Anything good? Anything good you want to talk about on TV or?
So I haven't watched anything. I mean, I just started actually. I finished up Black Lightning, and I just started watching Luke Cage.
Oh, I need to watch Luke Cage. See, I haven't gotten into that yet.
Season 2.
I know.
2 Luke Cage is great. It's a little weird the way they're doing it, but I like the approach of the entire series. I think is better done than how Black Lightning was. Beyond that, I have the newest Underworld movie sitting up on my shelf that I have yet to even open and watch. And that's one I'm actually planning, I think, Tuesday night to watch that and Black Panther.
Really, though? Like, Underworld, you're still watching those movies?
Yeah, I love the Underworld series.
Oh, dude.
Honestly, I mean, I'm very well... I might watch any vampire movie that's better than Twilight, because Twilight was horrible. And I watched it, so...
Oh, I'm sorry. Continue.
Now, like, the worst of the worst are good to me.
Yeah, well, you know, like, I've been watching, not a whole lot of movies recently, but, something crazy I've been watching was, it's, Games Done Quick. For like charity, like it's a speedrun charity thing that they do twice a year, and I've been watching like compilations of that, like instead of movies and stuff. Because normally when I go to sleep, I watch a TV show or a movie, but instead I'm watching people speedrun like Sonic 2 and stuff like that. I don't know, it's crazy. Like I watched a guy beat Majora's Mask in an hour and 20 minutes.
Wow.
Yeah.
Is that even possible?
I watched it. It's possible. No cheats.
That sounds like a myth, like the 300 megabits per second in Reno.
All right. Well, let's go get on to our news topics of the evening. So the first thing I think we're going to talk about is NVIDIA having a potential release date for the 1180 GTX card. So a new video card from NVIDIA.
Now, is that 1180 supposed to be better than the Titan?
Yes.
Okay.
Well, the Titan's a different card. Like it's one of those things when you look at when it comes to video cards, there's a lot of things you got to look at. The Titan is more of a video editing centric card. Like that's the kind of stuff it's good for. It's not just a gaming card. Like you can get good gaming performance out of a Titan, but for its price, it's for professionals. It's not for gamers or, you know, everyday users. But
I can see that.
Let's see here. PC gamers, crypto miners, and other GPU enthusiasts have been waiting years for the company's next big graphics card, which is usually in this space. And even so, NVIDIA CEO Jen Hassan Hoang recently told reporters the cards were still a long time away, but a couple of new leaks suggest we might see the GeForce GTX 11 series far sooner than that, likely this fall and perhaps even this August. So, according to the leaks from Lenovo, they're supposed to be they're supposed to have their first hands-on demos from NVIDIA by August or September. They're supposed to have everything out, and NVIDIA is doing a big press conference at Gamescom, which is probably likely going to be a showing of the NVIDIA 1100 series. So this is a big deal for PC gamers and enthusiasts alike because of the fact that this generation of NVIDIA cards is getting like relatively old. Like the 1080 Ti at this point is over. I believe it's over a year old, and the lesser ends of the 10 series are starting to get to like a year and a half, so we're due for another set of cards from NVIDIA.
Okay.
Yeah, so I don't know. Are you going to upgrade when that happens, or?
Well, considering I am running an AMD that's literally not even on the market anymore, I am going to upgrade literally at any moment. The main thing I'm actually looking forward to with upgrading mine, and the reason why I might stay, I don't normally like NVIDIA, and I'm thinking I'm going to stick with AMD because they both do the same thing with the Crossfire to...
SLI. SLI is NVIDIA.
Yeah. I might just get 2 for Crossfire. I was originally planning to do that with this one, but I only bought 1, and then they went off market entirely. And I don't want to Crossfire 2 different ones. So I'm thinking I might go with whatever's newest when I get the money to do it.
With me, I don't know. I think I'm going to, I think I'm going to upgrade soon. As far as like everything I do though, like I'm running an older card than you are, I believe. I'm running a AMD 6970. So my card's from 2011.
Yeah, that's a pretty old one.
It's a really high-end card. It's got 2 gigabytes of VRAM, and it's a decent card. Like, still, I can run any game that comes out now on it, but I am starting to see the faults of it, and it's also a really hot card too. There are cards that perform similarly to it that are out now that don't even run as hot. Like I think the 1060 3 gig runs just about as good as my card does, and I wouldn't even get close to the same kind of thermals, and it has another gigabyte of memory in it. But so you're an AMD guy. Have you thought about switching over to Vega 56 or 54 maybe for a card?
I haven't looked at them in a while for the AMD ones. I am very interested in, most of what I've been watching right now is processors, because that's my big fault, is my processor gets super hot and my computer will just stop working. Yeah.
What are you running in your computer? Is 8-core AMD or?
Yeah, it's an 8-core AMD running at 4.0. It's 4.2 if I overclock.
Yeah, it's an older bulldozer one, isn't it? Like
FX, yeah.
Yeah, so we're dealing with you're dealing with an older one. I'm running Ryzen in my computer right now. I upgraded to I'm running a 1600X in my computer.
Are you running? You're running an 8-core then?
No, 1600X is 6 cores, 12 threads. So the threaded performance is actually better than the FX series.
Yeah, that's what I wanted to do, is upgrade to the Ryzen's, but I wanted to get the 16-core.
Oh, Threadripper?
Mm-hmm. That's one.
Threadripper's pricey though, dude. Like,
it's pricey, but it should outlast any of the other ones on the market.
Not a whole lot of stuff supports that high core count. I'm not sold on it as far as Threadripper for the price. I know the next generation of Threadripper is coming out pretty soon, because the 2000 series processors just came out a couple months back for Ryzen. Yeah. So
we did see I did see the generation 2 for Threadripper is set to get ready to come out.
Yeah. For me, I can't justify that kind of expense. Like, the 1600X, I have not ran into a problem with my processor dealing with it. Anything I've ran, anything. My video card is my bottleneck. That's it. And I think there's a lot of room with that to grow.
And alternatively, if I just decided that I want to go get a, if I went and just installed a water cooling system in my computer, I imagine this one would work just fine. You know, with what it's set for. Could always use an upgrade though. I'm actually thinking I might just build a whole new computer, get better cooling in this one, and then leave this one as it is and build myself a whole other computer.
Well, what I'd suggest for you right now is with what you've got and what's coming out in the future. Whoa, your video just went away. There we go. That was weird Hangouts. Anyway, what I would suggest right now would maybe be I would get a Ryzen chipset processor, but personally, I think like the 2700 that just came out, the Ryzen 7, that's a great processor. That processor will outlast, anything. That's my opinion on it. You'll get, 5 or 6 years out of it at the rate that things are going right now.
I mean, it's very, very likely, yeah. Real quickly, I just want to interject with something that I happened across the other day, and I thought about it, but I didn't really do much research on it, but I feel like it's important. I don't remember what the station was, but a TV station has recently purchased a Halo live-action TV series.
Really, a TV station, like a network, like
a network. They just ordered it. I want to say like a week ago.
Oh, this is new news. This is even something I didn't even know. Here, let me pull it up real quick. Let's see, Halo
Showtime. It's Showtime.
All right.
IGN has a story on it.
Yeah, I'm on BBC right now. Let's see. It's supposed to be coming out in 2019. That could be interesting. You were always a Halo fan. You were always an Xbox guy, but
absolutely.
No, I'm more of a PlayStation guy. So I might pick up a Xbox One S for one reason, just to go play Master Chief Collection and go play some old school Halo 3.
Yeah, no, that's ridiculously fun. And not to mention, I mean, if you end up getting an Xbox One, I'm working on getting my PS4 station set up back here. But if you pick up an Xbox One, then we'd have multiple platforms to join together and play ridiculous games.
I don't know though, like I'm a fan of like in the room multiplayer, like 4 players, controllers, I don't know, that's my jam right there.
That's the kind of stuff that I just miss, like straight up miss. That and the evident loss of story in games, as EA is trying to do.
Yeah. Let's not get on that one, or else this is gonna be like a 4-hour podcast. If you want to hear me rant about why EA is the bane of everybody's existence.
Yeah.
But yeah, see, that's one of those things to where Halo though was like energy swords and shotguns matches and stuff. Like those custom matches were so much fun, and you could just pop down in a living room with with like your 4 best friends, and it's just,
it was fun. It was good old times.
That's what I like about the Switch though, because the Switch is starting to bring that back, because of the fact that they have a lot of games that are multiple players on one screen, and they also have LAN type stuff, all proximity based, and then that's just awesome to me. I think it'd be cool if they could add a LAN option to Splatoon or something, but I don't think they would.
Yeah, I've heard a couple of things about LAN, different developers working on different LAN options. It was all very briefly mentioned throughout E3, but it's seeming more and more like it's just going to be more of a digital world,
Yeah, LAN's dead. You can't go get a stupid router and go, hook up like 4 Xboxes to it and go play Team Deathmatch anymore.
It used to be like we would just, it'd be like, you want to hang out? Sure. Okay, what do you want to do? Play Halo or go to the park? They were equivalent in the amount of fun we could have at either point. So
yeah, well, oh, I'm sorry. Keep going.
No, that was it. It was just used to be fun.
That was your point. Yeah, with me, it was the other thing about the death of LAN games and stuff was games like Civilization. Remember when we used to be hardcore on Civilization? That was so much fun. We go. Yeah. I remember you getting eliminated at like midnight, and Dominic and I just building up forces for like 4 or 5 hours after that, because the only condition for victory was like total annihilation or something. And we played LAN game, like we had all of our computers in the same room hooked up to his router, and that was a lot of fun. I miss those kind of games.
Yeah, no, those were when it was actually, that's when video games were actually designed to bring people closer together. Anymore, it's more like we're gonna bring people closer together in a sense,
Yeah, there doesn't seem to be a whole lot of information on that Halo live action series yet. It looks like
Yeah,
it was just picked up.
it was really recent. There's not a whole lot on it. Like literally the article I'm looking at is from June 28th. So
Yeah, we'll find out more about that one as the information comes in. But
yeah.
speaking about things changing with video games, like we were earlier, GameStop is having some financial troubles.
Yeah, we're all worried that it's going to come to be the next Toys R Us.
Well, here's the thing with GameStop, in my opinion. I hate GameStop. There is nothing worse in the world than going into a GameStop. The only reason I go to GameStop, I don't buy games there. I buy them at Walmart because I don't get annoyed when I go to Walmart. I buy Funko Pops because the best place to get Funko Pops now that Toys R Us is closed is GameStop. And when you get there,
I go into GameStop and I like going to either GameStop or my local card shop here in Fernley for any kind of trading cards, anything like that. I'll go into GameStop and look just for sales a lot of the time because they do have really good sales on stuff.
I can't stand it. I can't be in there. You get to the counter to go check out. Do you want to buy a Power Up Pro membership? No.
Now, see, I have a solution to that.
Your solution is no.
Power Up Pro membership.
It's garbage. It's a waste of money. You are getting scammed. And if
I have the Power Up Pro membership. Let me see. I actually think I have the better one. But I also have a credit card through GameStop.
Yeah, getting you every way they can.
Well, the credit card's actually, it's one of those, it's obviously, it's a store credit card. So, yeah, I've got the Elite Pro.
There we go. I got you zoomed in now, yeah. I don't know. I just won't do it. And I hate it because I get annoyed every time I go to the counter. You know what? I'm not big on self-checkout machines, but if GameStop had those, my experience would be 1,000 times better because the fact that I don't want to have to yell at the little 18-year-old girl that's working behind the counter at GameStop to leave me the hell alone. I do not want to hear about the Power Up Pro membership. I don't want to pre-order any games because you guys are just marking stuff up $10 to get a little figurine with it. It's garbage. I hate it.
Yeah, no, I could see that.
And it makes me mad because every time I go in there just to buy Funko Pops, and I don't want to be mad at the cashier. They have to say that stuff or they get in trouble, but you know what? I can't stand it.
You see, I have a lot of...
What are you playing with?
It's a thing my work gave me. It's like one of those little jellyfishes.
Why do you have a jellyfish?
I've just been playing with it. Anyway, so I don't have a lot of problems with GameStop in that sense of going in there and being asked like 92 questions and asking if I live in North Korea or stuff like that. But most of my, if any, issue with GameStop is they get the smallest amount of branding on something, like anything at all, and they immediately jack the price immediately higher than it needs to be. On the flip side of that, however, GameStop also can do sales on stuff that other companies can't. Like, they can have a sale on, for instance, Pokemon cards. They have sales on those right now where a lot of other stores, like Walmart has it too, but a lot of other stores aren't allowed to have these sales because their contract with the Game Freak Nintendo doesn't allow it.
Yeah, well, again, I can't do it. I get too angry, and I should not get I try not to get angry at cashiers. It's not their fault. And I want to apologize now. Anytime I've been upset at the counter of GameStop when I'm just trying to buy some Funko Pops, I'm just trying to complete my Stranger Things collection, okay? That's all I'm trying to do. I don't need a Power Up Rewards membership. I don't care if it makes it $1 cheaper. I'm not going to pay $60 a year for a Power Up Pro membership. I'm not going to get your stupid credit card. I don't want to trade in any games. No, I'm not planning on, wanting to extend my warranty, when I buy games there, which I don't, for an extra 10 days or whatever. It's garbage. Leave me alone.
You see, well, the flip side of that Power Up Rewards membership is you get those magazines that tell you the latest and greatest news.
It just sells you more GameStop stuff. It's a scam. It's just an ad. You go to a place where they throw advertising at you where you could get Power Up Pro membership and you get a Game Informer with it. And then you get your Game Informer, in the mail. And it's nothing but ads for GameStop. That's all it is.
I wouldn't say it's quite like that. I get
it's entirely that.
I read through a lot of the articles in those GameStop, in those Game Informer articles. Really, I mean, they can give you a good amount of information about
you
a game.
You get the same stuff for free on IGN. All the same stuff.
I mean, maybe.
Yes, you can.
I don't know. I haven't compared that. I'd have to look at that.
You can get all the same information on IGN for free. There is nothing Game Informer is except for selling. Okay, I'm going to get off the subject of that. And I want to talk back to our news story here that I'm actually trying to cover. This is from CNBC. I got way too upset about that. Okay.
It's all right.
So, GameStop may be getting more help from the likes of Batman, Wonder Woman, and Iron Man. The video game retailer is looking at how traditional comic books will sell under a test program for about 40 stores.
I hope mine is near that.
Yeah, like that's something good to where I might go to GameStop and I will still get angry because they're still going to ask me the same stupid questions if I want to go in there and go buy, a trade paperback or something.
And that kind of excites me at the same time because there's no major comic book retailer where you can just go in and buy. I mean, you could go to Barnes & Noble and buy like the odd comic book on that one little rack in the back corner. But if you want to go, you can go to like the regular comic book store in the mall and the ones that you have to search for because they open and close so rapidly. If GameStop can open up and sell comic books, then a lot of the comic book fans and the community of people who enjoy them would be honestly a lot more inclined to go, and people who just want to get into them would be inclined to go and buy comic books from GameStop for the new editions rather than trying to hunt them down in their local comic book store.
My only big issue with all of this is the fact that I don't want this to put mom and pop comic book stores out of business, and I'm afraid that's what will happen.
Well, the bonus, so here's going to be the bonus for a mom and pop comic book store. GameStop has their trade-in stuff and everything, but they're going to give people way less than what a comic book's worth if they do that with comic books. So we're
they are. Wait, I'm going to get back to this for a second because I didn't even talk about game trade-ins yet, okay? I mentioned a little bit, but game trade-ins are a rip-off, okay? You could go on eBay right now and go sell a game, for like $30. Go look at GameStop's online price, sell it $10 less, include the shipping, and you'd be making like $20 more than what they'd offer you for a brand new game you don't want to play anymore. It's stupid. I hate it,
Yeah. Well, and what I'm saying is like because of that with comic books and everything, and the fact that GameStop's not going to have a lot of the older comic books, the stuff that a lot of fans really want to read, the stuff like Agent Grayson or World War Hulk, stuff like that. We're not going to see all that.
Oh, I guarantee they're going to get exclusive trades though, and that's something where I'm like, I might go into GameStop to pick up a good trade of something.
Yeah, I mean they'll probably. I mean they already do try to push like Assassin's Creed comic books and stuff like that.
Yeah, well, like I'm a trade paperback guy. I don't collect individual comic books. When I get a comic book, I just want the thing in front of me. Like I want, every story, I want it complete. It's like it's the same thing I get with like Netflix or whatever. I want it all there and I want to watch it now or I want to read it now,
I could see that. Yeah. I mean, I like having the different issues, but when you get a I forget what they're actually called, but the edition books where they have all the other comic books put together for the whole series, it is nice, but you're still not getting the full story with most stories because they continue on in other comic books of different titles.
Yeah. No, I don't know. Anyway, let me continue on down here a little bit. I'm going to skip a little bit of this article here, and GameStop has pushed new revenue lines to help buoy its overall business, which has been under pressure from competition that includes online sales. The collectibles piece of its business, though relatively small, grew 24% during the first quarter, while overall sales declined 5.5%. Now, I have to say this right now. That is the only thing GameStop is doing right now, and Toys R Us is closing is the only thing that's helping them. Because I can't get Funko Pops anywhere Like, you can get them at Walmart, but they have, they have, like, 20 Glenn from The Walking Dead Funkos, and that's it. And you know what? Yeah, I'll go into GameStop for those. That's,
And the GameStop has a lot of exclusives, which I appreciate on that end. When they get like just my little figures up on top of this shelf here, they've got a lot of exclusive different Justice League vinyls that I was buying at my gas station right up the road. That they had exclusives of, and I was like, ooh, well, that's interesting. But I bought them on sale for like 2 cents each as well. So
yeah, I don't know. Like, I'm real big on I'm real big on some of the collectible stuff. So like, it's nice that GameStop has it, but I just can't stand going in there. And yeah, the company's been having some issues with the fact to where their stock price is falling so low, they might go private again, which is a bad sign.
Well, I mean, it could be, but at the same time, if they end up going private, you've got to... The thing that they should honestly look at doing is stop trying to put, obviously keep up your competition and everything, but try to do like what Burger King does, where you have franchising. Because right now, everything is just one solid, they have a home store they all answer to, like Walmart. But if they decided like, hey, Billy Bob up in Texas wants to open a GameStop branch and he just needs our permission, then do it. Because then you're getting something different. You're getting a branch that can do stuff differently. Because they're not under the one thumb. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, I get it, but if they end up going private, which they might go within the next year or two, they need to reevaluate a lot of things about what the company is, because at this point, they can't make their money off of used games forever. It's not going to work. Digital games are taking that market away. How much of your game collection is digital, out of curiosity? Out of like new games you bought in the last 6 months?
I don't buy new games digital. I like the disc.
You are the worst kind of person. Okay, fine, but you get all the Xbox free games, right? All the gold games?
I have like probably well over 1,200 free games.
That's the thing. That's what's killing them, is the fact that subscription services like everything from Xbox to
Xbox Game Pass. I mean, there's not even a reason to buy a game anymore. Between Xbox Game Pass, you've got the iFly if you want to play discs. You've got all the different services for renting games. And if I really wanted to play a game but I wasn't sure if I wanted to buy it, I could just go down to Redbox and be all like, boop, 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 $2. I get to play it for the night.
Yeah, it's killing them, the digital sales, and Redbox is contributing to that too. I don't think GameStop's going to be able to survive. I'm not going to say much longer, but I think in 5 years, I wouldn't be surprised if they were in a Toys R Us situation, closing down themselves.
I feel like it's going to turn into more of a Blockbuster situation, where we don't really see anything about it. It just kind of disappears.
Yeah, the Blockbusters just kind of close down one by one every day.
Yeah, we're not going to see the big news story about it being bankrupt and all that. We're just going to see, oh, hey, your GameStop's gone.
Yep. That's all it's gonna be, Yeah.
By the way, I'm pretty sure there's still one Blockbuster in existence in Maine.
There are 2 Blockbusters in Alaska.
Alaska.
Yes. Yeah. There are 2 Blockbusters in Alaska. And they do very good business because there's no internet.
See, the downsizing worked for them, though. And now they're partnered with Dish and everything like that. So, I mean, Blockbuster still managed to remain a company, unlike Toys R Us.
I just don't see much of GameStop being around for, like, comic books might save them. That might be their saving grace. If they move over to the collectibles market and switch away from used games, because that's the only way they're making money right now. They're buying games from stupid kids and uninformed grandparents, and giving them $5 in store credit for, you know, like $100 in games and then reselling it. You know, it was money for nothing, but that's going away, and maybe for the best.
It very well could be. I mean, it could help bolster the video game market and actually bring general prices of video games down in general, if you really think about it.
It really, it could. You know, I just think digital's where it's going to be at. PS Now is such a force to be reckoned with, as far as like for PlayStation users, because of the fact that you have access to every, like almost every game. It's crazy their library they have.
It's just like the Xbox Game Pass, where it doesn't have any of the EA games because EA wants you to join the Uplay or the EA Play or whatever. Uplay is Ubisoft. The EA Play service where you get to play Battlefront and all that, which I did for 1 month at $5 a month, and I was like, this is trash. Because most of the games are sport games on that, and I don't play sport games. So,
what, mate? You don't play FIFA?
With with Xbox Game Pass,
you ain't no KSI playing FIFA.
No, I'm not. But
Oi, Logan Paul, I'm gonna beat you up.
We do get to see like some much more interesting things, and that was hilarious. What you were just talking about, I saw something on it today, and it was so funny.
I watched PewDiePie talking about it. Walmart.
I was watching Muselk, who actually went. He went to the Fortnite Pro-Am, and on his way out to the rave that was being thrown by Marshmello, on his way back to Vegas for that, he stopped by the. There was like a press conference that they were holding where Logan and Jake Paul were on the stage, and KSI walked up, and it was the stupidest stuff.
Yeah, it's funny.
Nobody knows what that was actually about, by the way.
Oh, it's about it's boxing. There's going to be a boxing match coming up in a couple of months. Or KSI and his younger brother are gonna box Jake and Logan Paul.
There's a legit match coming.
It's gonna be pay-per-view on YouTube. I'm not even kidding.
I might have to watch it just because I kind of want to see Logan Paul get his ass kicked.
I want to see Logan and Jake Paul both get their ass kicked. Like,
kind of want to see it.
If it doesn't happen, though, I'd be very upset.
Oh, yeah. No, if they win, no.
It's over.
I'm going to unsubscribe.
Unsubscribe from life.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's get back on to another topic here. So this one comes from IGN. Nintendo now permanently banning Switch users with illegal games from online play.
Ooh-wee.
So this is something that would have affected you way back in the day, because you used to be a little console modder back with the original, or not with the original Xbox, the Xbox 360.
Yep.
You were all about that life. So Nintendo is going to be banning users who use cartridges and dump them over to like blank cartridges, like backups, from online play, and some of these users are getting permanently banned from online play. Now, to be fair, that could be an illegal way to distribute cartridges, but I doubt it. The majority of people who are going to be doing that are just backing up their games.
By the same point, because I mean, you could just save a backup file on your computer. What really worries me about that is when we start having, like, for me, who wants to randomize and play Nuzlocke, the newest Switch game coming in 2019 for Pokemon, the one that's going to be coming up then, I might want to randomize it and play through it. Am I going to have to make sure that I emulate it in order to do that?
From the looks of it, you know, you can't use anything connected to your Nintendo account, or else you could risk getting banned from online play.
That's pretty terrifying.
It's one of those things, though, where, you know, the modding community with the Switch has been really hardcore on it since day one, because it's using a Tegra processor. It's essentially a tablet. Like, that's all the Switch is, with an AV splitter built into it. So this is kind of a blow to them, because this could also, you know, this is a slippery slope to banning ROM hacks and other fun stuff like homebrews.
Yeah. And ROM hacks are so much fun.
Yeah, I like a good ROM hack or a homebrew, you know, but I can understand where else Nintendo is coming from, because of the fact that as somebody, I collect classic games and stuff a bit, and there is such a bad set of fakes coming out for Nintendo 64 and Super Nintendo games now, to where, you know, you aren't sure you're getting anything legit anymore. And I think they want to avoid that happening with the Switch. And I get that, but banning users from the modding community, you know, like that is not the most ideal thing, in my opinion.
I just hope that we get to. I just hope that that you know, any Nintendo Pokemon game pulls their head out of their butt with the randomizing and just gives us a button to do it in the game.
Yeah.
Build it in.
You know, Nintendo won't do that. Nintendo doesn't listen to their fans.
And how are they still doing well?
Because they're Nintendo and they own our childhood.
Yeah, basically, isn't it?
You know, I think about like the best consoles of all time, and I have to give a Nintendo console the title of the best console of all time, and that's the Game Boy Advanced. I think the Game Boy Advanced is the best console of all time. Do you remember how ugly like PS2 and Xbox games were, like original Xbox games? Have you played any of those recently?
Yeah, I have actually.
And have you played any Game Boy Advanced games recently? Because I have, and I've noticed like those 2D games look 1,000 times better than the polygonous like morphic blobs that were even games like God of War, which was one of the best looking games on the PlayStation 2. Like, it can't even compete. It can't even compete with, you know, how pretty 90% of Game Boy Advanced games are.
But at the time it did, because at the time they were pushing for better graphics. We're still pushing for better. We're going to get to a point where graphics are stop going to be able to become better, and we're going to end up with graphics that are just like, I'm looking at real life.
Detroit Beyond Human is a game that's like that. It's very much like you're looking at it, and it hits that uncanny realm. Like, it's right there. Quantic Dream's always been good at that. Heavy Rain was a good example of that, where it was such a good-looking game at its time, and Detroit Beyond Human, or Become Human, Beyond Human? I'm thinking Beyond Two Souls for some reason in the back of my head.
Wow.
Detroit Become Human. Yeah, that's a weird mix-up.
That is pretty weird.
Anyway, yeah, so I don't know. I just want to go on that rant for a little bit, where I just think the Game Boy Advanced is just the best. Like, it's the best console of all time. I think it beats out the Super Nintendo, which a lot of people are like, "Oh, I love the Super Nintendo." Blah blah blah. Nope. Game Boy Advanced.
Well, now that we're through that rant,
what's your favorite console of all time?
My favorite console of all time. Oh boy, if I had to 100% pick one, honestly, probably the GameCube.
You're gonna go with the GameCube?
Yeah, I mean, it was just like, you sit down with your friends. Like, don't get me wrong, the Game Boy is amazing, because I'd go out in the street and play games and trade and Pokemon and do different stuff with my friends who lived in the houses across the street. But the GameCube, it was like, have my friends come over, we sit down, we plug in the controllers, and we play a game. You know? Yeah,
well, that's a big reason. I loved Smash for that reason, and games like that. You know, I've got a lot of happy memories with the GameCube. But I ultimately acknowledge the GameCube was a very flawed system. Like, I think having, you know, 2.5 gigabyte discs was a mistake. I think, especially before there was anything downloadable. Like, now, if you made a game that, you know, had to be online to work, you could download, you know, like, you know, a huge update and, you know, make it running. But back then, 2.5 gigs meant that games like Medal of Honor, Rising Sun had to be split into 2 discs, which, you know, obviously the PlayStation 2 version is going to be better. To me, it's just one of those nightmares of the GameCube with the small disc format.
It was an odd thing at the time. It's an odd thing now, but
I will point out that my all-time favorite Mario game is Super Mario Sunshine, and that was on the GameCube. Smash Brothers Melee, in my opinion, is the best Smash Brothers game for multiplayer because you don't have to customize anything to start it off. I hate the Smash Balls and everything in the new Smash Brothers games. Personally, I think that they're, they're garbage. It's cheap to me that somebody could do some super mega move out of nowhere.
I could see that. Yeah.
But also, my favorite Zelda game is on the GameCube. Do you know what my favorite Zelda game is?
Zelda was always the funnest stuff to play on the GameCube.
But do you know which Zelda game was my favorite that was on the GameCube?
Ocarina?
Technically, that did come out for the GameCube, and that was a better version, but wrong. The best version of Ocarina of Time was the 3DS version, which you should pick up.
That's very true, yeah.
That's a must-have.
I actually have it on my... I bought... My 2DS was the Ocarina of Time version.
Oh, okay. Then you know already. You know.
Oh, yeah.
But no, my favorite Zelda game of all time is Wind Waker.
Really?
That's a beautiful game, and it still looks good today. There's nothing that beats it. The story is great. It's a dark story with, like, pretty graphics. I like Twilight Princess, which also came out on the GameCube, but I think that Wind Waker is my all-time favorite Zelda game.
Well, fair enough.
Yeah. So, we're reaching the end of this nonsense here, so let's go talk about what we're doing on YouTube right now. You want to start off, Tim?
What I'm doing on YouTube?
Yeah.
I have a lot that I'm doing on YouTube, but before we actually get into that, we have one more thing to discuss.
We do?
Yes, Young Justice.
Oh, crud. I missed that one. I forgot.
That was recently pushed to 2019 for the release date, despite recording being all completed. It looks amazing, for one, and not to mention it seems like it's going to be releasing right along the Cloak and Dagger Netflix series.
Or no, Cloak and Dagger is Freeform.
Freeform?
It's Freeform. Okay.
Well, it seems like it's going to be releasing right alongside that.
Hey, we had a special co-host. Bye, Courtney.
So Young Justice looks... I don't know if you haven't watched Young Justice Season 1 and 2, go do it right now. Because it is one of the best stories ever told in an animated movie or show.
See, I have something updated on Young Justice Season 3.
Oh, yeah?
DC Entertainment has officially announced their new DC Universe streaming service, which includes Young Justice Season 3.
Yep.
So guess what they're going to make you do? They're going to make you buy another subscription.
So they have that. I'm hoping it's like the CW one where it's free. But
it won't be.
There's that. What they do have is I read something about it this morning, actually, I think on Twitter. They have the Young Justice, they've got Titans, they've got any animated movie for DC, and they have, I want to say it was over like 200,000 comic books that are just available to read through the app.
It bugs me because I hate paying for another service, and when I heard there was going to be another Star Trek series, I'm a huge Star Trek fan. Like, huge, massive. When CBS All Access, when I heard that they were picking up Star Trek Discovery, I was like, I'm just not going to watch this. I'm not doing it. I'm not paying for any more streaming services. I have Netflix. I have Amazon Prime. I have Hulu. I have BritBox because my mom watches it. I have all this stuff. I'm not going to pick up another one.
I only have Hulu and Netflix. And honestly, anything that doesn't come out on those, I generally won't watch. But with Young Justice Season 3 coming, if it does turn out to be required subscription to watch their shows, I have to do it. Because it's such a good story. It is, like I said, the best story.
Like, I can understand that. I have Amazon Instant Video pretty much for the reason that The Man in the High Castle comes out on it, because it's such a good show. But it bugs me the fact that I have so many streaming services as is already, and CBS has their pockets probably in a couple of them, and they can't. And it's the same thing with DC and Warner Brothers. I don't know.
So the DC Warner Brothers thing actually bugs me on a different level, because like the Titans TV series that they're doing, the live action, they could very easily tie it in and use the cinematic universe for that series. It'd be so they're not touching any characters that are already released in the WB series, you know, Batman versus Superman or any of that. They're not touching any of them. All they're doing are using the sidekicks, which we don't see in any of the mainline series. So they could very easily do that.
With Titans, I think it'd be cool if they tied it into the to Flash and Supergirl and stuff. That's just
my CW.
Yeah, put it in the CW canon.
That'd be pretty cool too. I'd like either way, honestly, but chances are good it's not going to.
Well, that makes me grumpy.
Yeah.
Okay.
But with that being said, we can probably get back to what we're doing on YouTube.
Yeah, so what are you doing right now? Let's go tell the audience what you're doing right now.
So right now, I just did a little video on it today earlier. Basically, what I am doing is I am playing through a randomized Nuzlocke challenge. I am opening up Pokemon cards mainly. I'm doing that right now. It's set for every other Tuesday, starting on the 3rd. Then I'm doing random cards on Saturday, on the first Saturday, and then I want to do something where I go out and I find something on sale, and I bring that back here and I open that on my channel. And then I have my regular Play with Friends on my every other Monday, which is honestly turning out to be a very fun series just because it's like I'm just bringing games to people on this channel. I'm just opening up and being like, okay, this is a game that we're going to play, and let us know if you think you'd enjoy playing it, you know?
Definitely. As for me right now, I'm still in the middle of Spyro the Dragon. I have that as my my AM series, so I'm releasing actually 2 episodes of 2 different Let's Plays a day. So in the mornings at 11 a.m. you can go catch my Pokemon, or not my Pokemon, my Spyro. You got me Pokemon now. Get that on my head. You can catch my Spyro at 11 a.m. every day except for Tuesdays, because Tuesdays is when the podcast drops. And every day at 11 p.m. you can go catch my Digimon World 3 Let's Play. So right now I'm running both of those, and I'm very close to the end of Spyro. So I'm probably gonna be moving on to Ripto's Rage after that, the second Spyro game. So our viewers can go look for that. It's on the same channel this podcast is. Anything else?
It's not on the same.
No, it is.
Oh, I was like, you're running 2 channels now?
No, not quite yet.
No, all I've got is a shameless plug to come check out my randomized Nuzlocke challenge, because I'm having fun doing it and I love sharing that fun with you guys. And if I have anybody come over and give me a comment and let me know how I'm doing and tell me, you know, let me know if I'm doing something wrong too, then what I like to do is just put their names in as a Pokemon, provided I cannot think of a name on the spot the second I see it.
All right. Well, that's what we're doing. You can go check us out on Twitter and YouTube. I think that's it. Thanks for joining us, guys.
Links are in the description.
Yes,
for all that.
everything's in the description, just as it was last week. And again, a special thanks again to Empty Beds and Michael Maxwell for the music that we're using. Big shout out to them. Really, really just awesome. Anyway, have a wonderful day. We're going to talk it to you next time.